Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to Pokemon Showdown. Today, we have our team breakdown for the playoffs of the UCL Little Cup Off-Season. I, of course, am PokeaimMD, coach of the Bronx Beartics, and today, we play Miguel and the Real Marill. I ended up winning the Johto division, so of course I advanced, and he ended up winning the Cancel division, so he advanced. And, yeah, Miguel's a very formidable opponent, I will not lie, at all. And he definitely has a pretty threatening team, but I actually built this team by myself, and then I had Mambo and Chimpak look over it, but for the most part I built this team by myself this time. I just sat down and decided, you know what, it's time to win this UCL Little Cup Off-Season. I really want to win, and obviously there's been a little bit of trash talk between myself and Miguel. My trash talk is mainly about him wearing his beanie wrong, but in any case, let's actually go over his team. As you can see, he has Froakie as his captain, Pumpkaboo Super, Drifloon, Snover, Shelmet, Pancham, Meowth, Azurill, Smoochum, Wilmer, and Deerling. Now, whole bunch of threats, especially for my team. The good thing is that Growlithe, Little Jackie, pretty much walls the majority of his team, though he does have the Wilmer that can hard stop it. So, for this game, I decided I'm going to try and win by trapping. Excuse me, just drink some water. Shout out to Poland Spring. By trapping his Smoochum and wearing down his Wilmer. That way, basically, Little Jackie and Jam can just put in the most work versus his team. So, let's actually go over the team real quick. So, we're starting off with my John Cena. Let me actually type in his name. We're starting off with John Cena, my Violet Zora. Now, we're running Quad Dark Stab, Knockoff, Dark Pulse, Pursuit, and Sucker Punch. Obviously, we're running Jolly Nature. You can see the Jolly Nature, not obviously, but you can see the Jolly Nature with 36 special attack investment. Basically, I didn't want a defense drop by going naive. I didn't want, not defense drop, special defense drop, and then I didn't want hasty and get the defense drop. So I decided for Jolly Nature. Basically, this thing could take a hit from Smoochum and Oko it pretty much with Pursuit most of the time, even if it doesn't switch out, which is what I'm saying. If it does switch out, it dies. We have Knockoff just to spam to wear down that, to wear down his fat mons like Wilmer. Basically, his only good switch into this mon, besides Shelmet to an extent, would be his Pancham, which is probably like the biggest threat to my team besides Drifloon. Drifloon is just a monster, but I wanted Dark Pulse on this thing because it gets rid of Rash Drifloon, the acrobatic set with Unburden, which is the one that he has been spamming with Hex and his T-Spikes as well. It gets rid of that, which is pretty important because even if he burns me with Will-O-Wisp, I want to be able to Oko him. This also hurts his Pumpkaboo Super if that manages to burn me as well. So basically, I still wanted to be able to do as much damage as possible, even if I ended up getting burnt by a Will-O-Wisp or something like that, which two of his Pokemon have right there. So it's definitely to be expected. And I want the Eviolite, that way I could take some hits from Pancham, that way I could take a hit from Drifloon if I needed to. That's also why I didn't want to go hasty or naive, because I just didn't want to lower my Spadef for physical defenses and lower my walling or my ability to take hits. So next member on the team we have Jam, the Shelder, and this time we are running Choice Scarf. Now, I'm running Choice Scarf Adamant, even though that does speed tie with the fastest member on his team, which is his Meowth, if I'm not mistaken. Meowth hits 19 speed, excuse me, and I'm pretty sure we hit 19 speed as well. Yeah, we hit 19.5 when we have the Choice Scarf, and unfortunately because this Pokemon doesn't round up, it rounds down, so we're both 19 speed. Now, it might look a little bit bad, but the reason that I am running Adamant Nature is because I want to be able to Oko his Froakie with Rock Blast 100%, and he's been known to run Toxic Spikes on that thing, so I definitely wanted to be able to get rid of that thing as quickly as possible. I also outspeed it. Ice Sphere just hurts his Pumpkaboo, it hurts his Drifloon hard as hell. Even Rock Blast hurts Shelmet, even if it's physically defensive. Rock Blast actually has a chance to knock him out from full with no prior damage. And then I wanted Rapid Spin as a last attack because he has two spin blockers on his team, being Pumpkaboo and Drifloon. But Jam is a Pokemon that those Pokemon do not appreciate switching into. Let's say I have Shell Smash and he brings in his Pumpkaboo, I pretty much win. Or I win in that trade-off, basically. I knock out Pumpkaboo if I go for Shell Smash and then Icicle Spear. So I don't expect him to be switching in his Pumpkaboo or his Drifloon to my Jam. And though Rapid Spinning is not the biggest priority, in this game. I think it's more so just to wear them down with Jam, because Jam just puts in a lot of work versus his team. I would expect them to go out to something like Wilmer, which can take a hit and maybe phase me out with Roar or something. So that's why I wanted to put Rabbit Spin on Shelder, because it was more likely that he would go out into something that wasn't a Ghost type that's also weak to Ice, and that's why I had Spin. And then I have Ice Shard just because it can pick off a weakened Drifloon, as well as a weakened Azurill, a weakened basically like a Scarf Deerling and stuff like that. And basically it's just good to have that Ice Shard priority versus his team, I feel, especially because he has a bunch of threats like that fast Meowth. If I need to get off a little bit of damage on that thing, Meowth could be an issue though. But next up we got Little Jackie, one of the MVPs of the team, definitely. This week we are running same bulky spread as last time. We have 13 speed. That way I believe that we are faster than Pancham, if I'm not mistaken. Let's actually look up the handy dandy calculator right here. Pancham, look up pivot. Yep, it's 11 speed. 13 speed is just the speed that I had this extra investment right here, and I wanted to be able to outspeed him. I think I also outspeed Azurill pretty handily. I'm just looking up right here just so I have a few teams that I don't want to show off yet. Look at this. Even if it's not running 0 speed IVs, let's just give it 31 with an adamant nature. This thing maxes out at 11 speed if it's running adamant. And though he has ran what's it called? He has ran Trick Room in the past, at least trying it out. But basically, Little Jackie with Intimidate takes on so much on his team. It takes on Punkaboo. It can even take on Drifloon as long as he doesn't have a T-Spikes. I have the Intimidate. I have the Flamethrower to weaken that thing. I can take on Pancham, and I can Will-O-Wisp it, which is the important part. Obviously, Wilmer is an issue, especially because I believe Wilmer has the ability that it doesn't get burnt, or it doesn't have to be burnt. Like, it has, what's that ability called? Water Veil, if I'm not mistaken? Pretty sure Wilmer has, not Water Veil. You know what, I might as well just show the team. I'm going to be playing my DVP game anyway for SPL, so it doesn't even matter if it shows. But Wilmer has, yeah, it is Water Veil. Water Veil, which means it can't be burnt, which means obviously I'm not going to be able to Will-O-Wisp it. And I'm pretty sure he'd be bringing that. That's really useful versus my team. So that's why I wanted Fire Spin. Now, what Fire Spin does is, it does, you know, pretty poor damage. It has a really poor damage output, but it traps you. It forces you to stay in. So let's say I Fire Spin when he still has Wilmer alive. He's going to be, not only is he going to take like 1% from that, but then he's going to take a little bit more as the recoil from Fire Spin, or you're trapped in the vortex, or whatever you want to call it, happens. But he's also forced to stay in, which means I can get a free switch, a literal, not a free switch, but a switch that I don't have to predict into any one of my members on his Wilmer if I want to. And he can't do anything about that because he's locked in due to Fire Spin for that one turn, which is why I wanted Fire Spin. I didn't feel like HP Grass was that useful. It literally only hits Wilmer, but I'd rather get the switches. That way I can start hitting attacks with my other members on the team. And obviously we have Morning Sun for recovery. This thing walls Punkaboo. It can wall Drifloon to an extent. It walls Shelmet, Snover. It can Will-O-Wisp Pancham and check Meowth. It can check Azurill, check Smoochum, and checks Deerling. So it puts on... Basically, this thing put the team on his back. Little Jackie puts the team on his back, as she usually does. Next up, we got Jabberjock. And we're running Stealth Rock, Sucker Punch, Rock Blast, and Earthquake. Sucker Punch just to give me that priority versus Drifloon. A potential Meowth if it gets in trouble. Even Smoochum if those things get out of hand. So I wanted that Sucker Punch priority. Rock Blast obviously deals a Drifloon even if it goes for sub. It will break it even if it Will-O-Wisp me. I can get as many hits as I want. Not as I want. That'd be sick. I want 5 hits. Jabberjock, I want 5 hits. But we also have the sturdy Berry Juice, which is going to be nice with the Rapid Spin. He does not have a Stealth Rocker on his team. He obviously does have Spikes and T-Spikes, which Froakie does have access to. But if I'm able to spin them away, obviously Jabberjock can do a little bit of work. Then we have the Earthquake Stab, which just hurts really hard on his team. It really hits him hard. Punkaboo is his only switching. And then I have Little Jackie to pivot between Jabberjock and Geodude. And Geodude even checks Azurill because Azurill is normal fairy, so it doesn't have an attack to hit me bar like Knockoff or Iron Tail if it wants to run those. Pretty sure it has access to Aqua Jet, which it does because I'm pretty sure you get that as an egg move on that Pokemon. But we also can speed tie with Pancham as well as if he's going max speed Azurill and even Shelmet. Now I could have went Jolly, that way we don't speed tie, but I really wanted the damage output that Adamant gave. But we do outspeed Shelmet, unless he's running speed, so that's the important part. we can hit that thing with a Rock Blast. If we get a certain number of hits, if we get a high number of hits, like 4, I believe, we knock it out. I'll be doing the calcs, obviously, during the battle, so I'm not going to be, guessing right now. But it was just put into max attack and the rest speed, and then just spread evenly, despite around there. Now, next up we got is Patrick, my Staryu. Now, not running Rapid Spin on this thing because I feel like this will be a Pokemon that'll be really hard to spin. Seeing as how he has Punkaboo, Super that can just come in. And then he also has Meowth if he tries to break the Rapid Spin that can hurt me with the Fake Out. He could even bring a special Meowth for like Water Pulse and things like that to hurt Little Jackie. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But I wanted an offensive Staryu, excuse me. Oof. You're not evolved yet, bro. One day. I wanted an offensive Staryu because it pretty much hits his team hard as hell. I wanted to be able to 2-hit KO Punkaboo with Ice Beam, which I'm pretty sure we do. I mean, it's really fat. It's Punkaboo Super, and it's a spin blocker. It's careful natured. So if I knock it off, obviously I do 2-hit KO it. But I wanted to be able to do a little bit of at least damage with rocks. So you can see with rocks up, I can 2-hit KO him with the Ice Beam. If I get a Scald Burn, that'd be nice too. Though he obviously he doesn't have the natural cure ability on that. That's the other tree. So if I get a Scald Burn, then he can't come into Ice Beam anymore. And then Thunderbolt obviously checks Whelmer. Thunderbolt is only there for Whelmer. It also gives me the option to hit Whelmer plus Drifloon. It also hits, I guess, Pancham as well. And not Pancham, but Smoochum. If I don't want to go for Ice Beam, I'd rather go for Thunderbolt if that's the better play, because obviously it does resist Ice. So I want to Scald because it's Scald. It can get burns. His best switch into this thing would be his Punkaboo, his Snover. I didn't really want HP Fire, though. I was thinking about putting Dazzling Gleam or Psychic. Psychic to hit Pancham, but if it's bulky, it's going to be 2-hit KO'd. Regardless, like, it would be 2-hit KO'd, but it's not a no-KO, so it's not something that really I felt that I wanted. It didn't, like, oh wow, this no-KO it, let me put this on the team. No, so we have Recover as the last move because I feel like this Mon would not be able to spin, especially because of Punkaboo and things like that. And I want to Recover just to give me that longevity, especially when I'm switching into Wilmer's potential Scald, since I'll be trapping it. And let me just actually check Shelder. You see, Shelder's, where's my Ice Shard? Hello? Icicle Spear. Icicle Spear. So as you can see, Icicle Spear does have that chance to KO Punkaboo. So if I actually get off a Scald damage and I get a burn, it 100% KOs the Punkaboo. So this definitely does support the Staryu. This also speed ties with his fastest Pokemon, being Meowth. This also outspeeds Deerling, can hit it with the Ice Beam. This outspeeds the entire team, bar the Drifloon after an Unburden, which I'm a little bit worried about. I have a good idea of what I think he's going to bring. Punkaboo, Froakie with T-Spikes, Drifloon, Pancham definitely because it does work versus my team, Wilmer because it checks Little Jackie, and the last one is a toss-up between like Meowth or Smoochum if he wants to run Scarf Smoochum, even Shelmet with Spikes. So the last one is really a toss-up, but I have a really good idea of what I think he'd bring, or what I think the best 6 are to bring versus me. So I definitely wanted this Staryu just because it outspeeds the entire team, hits hard, has Scald. I want to Scald over Surf, obviously, for like damage, for the chance to burn, obviously. And then next up, we got the Village Crusher Jr. We got VC Jr. right here. Standard set that we've been running. We have to run Jolly, that way we can outspeed Meowth, the fastest member on his team, besides Drifloon, obviously, after Unburden. But Drifloon after Unburden outspeeds my entire team anyway. Facade Crunch, that's all we need. Facade hits everything, and Crunch hits what it does. And Crunch hits the Ghost types, and Protect obviously gives me the quick feed ability as quickly as possible. And then we have Swords Dance just to abuse if I'm able to. If my Toxic Orb is activated, I can actually Swords Dance up versus Punkaboo, for example, and then proceed to knock it out with the Crunch at +2. And then Facade just nukes. The Village Crusher Jr., I didn't feel like there was a need to bring Pokemon like Whimsicott, not Whimsicott, like Wynot. I really wanted to bring Wynot this match. But looking back at his team, he has a bunch of Pokemon with U-Turn. He has Bug types. He has Ghost types that can't be trapped. He has Pokemon that can basically take advantage. He has them as a Pancham, so I really didn't think that Wit would do too much work in this game. But I felt like I brought the best 6 possible that I could for this match. And I really think that Jam is going to be putting in a lot of work with, as long as it can hit the Rock Blast. I don't want to, jinx that because Jam has been hitting all the Rock Blasts this season, thankfully. But as long as I can hit the Rock Blast, because I really do expect him to bring Froakie with Toxic Spikes. As long as I can hit that Rock Blast, I should be good. I guess you could bring Scarf Froakie, but I don't know if why would you bring that versus me? Because I can Pursuit Trap that. Well, we'll see. in any case, I want to show you guys the damage versus Froakie, which is why I went Adamant versus the Jolly. Oh my god, Fracture, get out of here. Nobody's trying to fight no dragons. He could bring Choice Scarf if he really wanted to. But this is the damage from Adamant, 105 to 131. And then we have Jolly, which does 78 to 105. So definitely, that damage output is not good for me. Definitely not good for me. So I much rather have the Rock Blast a chance to kill over, you know, the Rock Blast 100% kill versus the chance to kill. Excuse me, I'm like tired. I'm really tired. I'm sorry. I'm trying to wake up because I play a little bit for SBL, and then I play after that for the playoffs. But obviously, if he wants to bring Scarf Froakie versus me, he's not going to be able to knock out my jam unless he gets the absolute max roll, which is totally possible. But I guess it runs HP ground, but even if it has HP grass, well, Hidden Power Grass has a better chance to knock me out now that he's rash. Yeah, HP grass to 79. Oh, nice. So, basically, I have that good chance to kill, and then Rock Blast will knock him out 95 if he runs that Scarf set. But we'll see how it goes. I really am confident with the members that I'm bringing this week. I feel like if I play well, I can definitely win this game. So, you know, go ahead and support the Bronx Beartics if you want. Leave a like, subscribe, do your thing. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow with a victory under the Bronx Beartics belt. And that means another championship to go to, I guess, at least. Not that we won, but a championship. If we beat Miguel, we make it to the championship. We make it to the finals, excuse me. And yeah, we get to either fight Patters or Dan. I'm pretty sure those are the other two that made it to the playoffs. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy. Feel free to leave a like, subscribe, do your thing, and yeah, cue the outro.